Striving for perfection is a terrible idea. Now, that can sound pretty silly to you guys that, why wouldn't you want to strive for perfection? That I want to be the best, like if I'm the best and I can get all these things and I'll feel good about myself if whatever I do is perfect. And you hear all these celebrities like, say, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan going on about it. However, quite frankly enough, while it's good to have like these high ideals, just always feeling like you need to be perfect is very dangerous, and I'll explain why. So, the need for perfection can come from many different things. It can just be as simple as the pursuit of like high art or high achievement, or it can be something much deeper, like feeling that you need to be perfect in order to get validation or feel good about yourself, which is a whole nother problem. However, in the actual field of practicing whatever you're doing, I'm going to use, say, basketball, for example. So, in the field of actually practicing basketball, it's quite dangerous. And the reason why is because one, it will demotivate you, and two, perfection is a subjective goal. And you always want your goals to be objective. So, when I was younger, I used to draw a lot, and I used to just draw countless different things, either things from video games or cartoons or um, create all these kind of like characters and places and all sorts of things. And I just love doing it for the sake of doing it. And I made so many of them. I had like a huge binder of just all these drawings out of crayons and markers. And I just did it for the love of it. And I didn't care how good or bad these drawings were because that wasn't the point. The point was just me expressing my ideas and having fun with it. However, when I did get older and I got a little bit more serious about drawing, learning how to draw, and making my drawings look good, I found myself often demotivated to draw. And the reason why is one, because it was hard, and two, I wasn't getting the result I wanted. That anytime I draw, I anytime I drew, I just it never came out as good as I hoped it would be. And as a result, I kind of just became demotivated because like it was difficult and I felt like the reward wasn't being achieved. And you talk to a lot of artists and they'll say the same thing that it'd be very difficult, especially when they're learning something new, to actually make art. And this could also be applied to any other field, like I said, basketball or making money or any kind of pursuit you have. And this comes from the pursuit of perfection, that you have a vision in your head how it's supposed to look like, and you're almost never going to achieve that vision. And that's because we set these standards on ourselves of how it should be or how we feel like other people thinks it should be. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely believe there is, certain benchmarks of how things should be done. That, for example, if you are learning how to draw, you need to learn perspective, you need to learn anatomy, all that kind of stuff. So it's not just everything subjective. But why I'm bringing this up because is just more of a pragmatic thing of getting things done. That it's you should practice anytime you're practicing something. You should be okay with a less than perfect result because perfection is subjective. That even though there are benchmarks, like I said, there's never going to be a part where you'll be like, okay, perfectly good, nothing wrong with it. Because someone can come in and say, oh, this has to be tweaked, or I don't like that, right? So there, technically, in a weird sense, there is no perfection. And I believe in a pragmatic sense that perfection just means high consensus that something is great. That's it. Even though it might not be perfect. Like you can say that all these Greek and Roman statues, they are perfection. Even though someone can critique little mistakes in it, it's just agreed upon that this is great art. However, in your sense, if you're always striving for perfection, you're just never going to get anything done. Is you're always going to have that nagging feeling in your mind that you're not going to do something. And this happened to me recently with my Substance with Style episode last Sunday. It was the one on the Knights. And, before I recorded it was the first day of the year. I really did not want to record. I was just tired and just not in the mood, but I forced myself into it. And I knew it wasn't going to be that good. And you can tell that I just was very low energy. I was talking quiet, and my thoughts were just really scrambled. However, I'm still very proud I did it. And that's because I got it done. Because any kind of work that you do, even though how bad it is, I believe that no matter how bad it is, it's always better than a piece of work that's never done. You know, the great piece of art that you have in your mind will never be as good as the terrible piece of art that's on the page or on the computer. You know, and that requires tenacity to get done. Right? I was making this live stream. I knew it wasn't going to be good, but I put aside my doubts and feelings, and I said, you know what? Let me just get it done. Is I need to learn how to basically talk better on camera. I want to get this information out for anyone who needs to hear it and get something on my channel. So, and be consistent too. I didn't want to miss an episode. So it was just more, it was more than just the episode itself. And, for anything, like I'm going to bring up basketball again. If you if you want to practice 3 days a week at shooting your 3-point shot, and one day you don't want to go because you're not doing so well, you're not seeing the improvement, you not going will have an impact. Because one, you lose that consistency. Two, you lose that discipline of, in the future, you're not going to want to do it. Like, it's going to be easier out because you gave up in the past, so it'll be easier to give up again. And three, you're maybe that little bit of practice is what would have took for you to get over the hump. They say if you're struggling in something, the point of greatest resistance is right before when you actually achieve victory. And that's, I don't know exactly how often that's right, but I've seen it in my own life where the toughest parts when I'm trying to achieve something come right before I actually achieve it. So like the toughest day on the court of you missing free throws and just the mental struggle of it, that one day could be the breaking point between you giving up or you actually making great progress and becoming a great 3-point shooter. So, in my opinion, I really feel like the idea of perfection is a crippling one. That you need to strive to being perfect at everything, and instead just accept your mistakes and understand it's a process. That there's going to be hiccups and bumps along the road, no matter what. That even the greatest person, like Michael Jordan or Tom Brady, they have bad games, they have bad practices, and they know that. And kind of just accept that the idea of perfection, what it really is just being the best that they can be. Putting in the most ability, the most confidence, the most effort in as possible. And then whoever has the best result, that's really the line of perfection. Not no mistakes. Because even the best games, the best performances, the best pieces of art, they all had mistakes in it. And none of us are perfect. And we wouldn't be human if we were perfect. That's part of the human condition. So I'll leave you with this, that, the next time that you're really kind of doubting starting something, like for me starting this channel, what took me so long was because I wanted everything to be the best as it can. And you see in my videos, my presentation has been going up. My voice inflection's better. The content's better, I feel like. And that's because I started. If I never started, the progress would have never been made. And I would never even reach the idea of perfection. Right? So, the next time you're in a struggle like that, my advice is just to do it. Just bite the bullet, just do it, and just get out the idea that everything has to be perfect. All right? So thanks for watching.